There's something very special about being able to create something and then share it with people and have people enjoy it. This is a map that I created. It's called Anza Borrego. It is modeled after the Anza Borrego Desert south of San Diego, or sorry, east of San Diego in Southern California. And so this is a new map that I created for this tournament. This is World Desert Championships 2, the Sand League. So this is the semi-pro level, but all these players are still very good. They're all approaching the 2K level or over 2K. So one of the main features of this map, I'll quickly introduce the map and then the players, is we have these little ponds in the sides alongside these hills. So what happens in the true desert of Anza Borrego in real life is you have these ponds that have these prehistoric, really old pupfish. These fish that used to be in the ocean and are now able to live in these little ponds, and they burrow into the sand when it gets too hot in the desert, and when it gets too cold, they also just burrow into the sand. And then that's where each of the, I don't know if you want to call them flanks or pockets, what traditionally would be flanks, but they're also quite far back in their normal positioning here. That's what they kind of spawn next to. So we have blue and teal, and then what usually is the pocket, it's a forward pocket, is next to this middle lake in the middle, similar to Oasis, but with openings in the woodlines. We have this shallows that players can cross from one side to the other. So let's say they're trying to push one side and suddenly it gets all walled off. They can send their troops over to the other side and try to change over where the attack comes from. So this is a map that was able to make it into the Sand League, but didn't make it into the main event. I didn't win the competition in that regard. But this is the semifinals of the Sand League. And pretty much, I wanted to cast the whole set, but I just don't have time. Whoever wins this match kind of decides who goes into the next set, into the finals. So the players on the right is a German team with Philip, HGJS, Acro, and Turs. Acro, I have mentioned in a previous video, actually. He was in the video with the What's Your Elo controversy. He's the one that not necessarily wanted to start the controversy, but he just happened to be a member of the situation. And then the other team, we have a Brazilian team from KGB, Killing Generations Brazil. And so in the middle position, I'm not going to say pocket or flank because it just feels weird. In the middle position, we have Goku. In the top, we have Gabby. And on the other side, we have Fire. So all very confident players in the community who you may have heard of. In terms of resources, I mentioned that lakes. There are these little like chaparral type areas with small trees mod. It doesn't show up as intended where it's supposed to just be little shrubs. But just to make sure everything's clearly visible, I do have small trees mod on. And players can use their scout to try to slow down how quickly the boar attacks them. And there also were some sheep that started in this middle area on either side, but the players, having well prepared for the map, have collected them and brought them back to their town center. Other than that, you can see the side players are dropping their docks and starting with fish. And in terms of civilizations, we have some civs that you would more often expect on a water map. We have Malay and Dravidians for the Brazilian team. And on the other team, we have slightly more aggressive civs. We have Mongols here for blue, and for teal, we have Bohemians, which you don't normally see on such an open map like this, but we might see a lot of center play. So I'm really excited to cast this game. I don't know what the outcome is. I just saw that it was one of the games played in the tournament, and I think there was one. This was also a tournament that has 1v1 and 3v3 games. There was a 1v1 game between Beery and Bad Boy that I really want to cast, but no one posted the rec after they finished the game, or I don't know, it got corrupted or something. And I reached out to the players and they haven't gotten back to me. And we're moving on to multiple game versions, so the recs kind of become less and less feasible to cast the later we are from when the games are played. But the finals is tomorrow, and I'm hoping that the game will, or the map will be present in the finals again, either in the 1v1 or 3v3 form. That'd be wonderful to see it. But this is like the first time I'm really seeing it be tested by professional players. Because when you're making the map, you have like the rough idea of how it's going to play out. Like, okay, the players are going to be able to get food here. They can't wall this section, so maybe they'll do like a small wall right here. Maybe they'll wall to their base. Will they try to wall this middle area? Because either like you can't wall here, yeah, you can't wall there, so that's why green has decided to wall like this. But you could like try to full wall one half of the base by walling right here. Are you going to try to fight for the center water control? Looks like green might do both. Almost everyone is up right now except for red, who might be going for some interesting melee strategy. But you can see that it seems like the standard way to wall here is to go from the wood line to your town center. Blue up first over red, so we'll win this scout battle. Red choosing just to turn and fight and try to take as much damage off of the scout. But obviously a Dark Age scout isn't going to be able to win that fight. Stable for our side player on one side, and not sure what teal is going to be making yet. What else do we have? Barracks. Nothing for red, right? He's on his way up. Yellow. Two fires out of the docks, and green staying on one fire. Okay, so it's a lot of different things, but all of this action can culminate in the center, just because of the way the map is scripted. So because this is like the first time I'm seeing it tested, I have some predictions on what's going to happen. That players are going to have a mix of economy and aggressiveness, but they're mainly going to go up to Castle Age. Like, it's going to be very light aggression, almost like what you might have on Arabia, or even lighter than Arabia, because the players are still somewhat far away. Losing the center water isn't like game ending, and I didn't want it to be that way. I don't want like just these two players to decide the outcome of the game. Even if yellow wins water here, which it looks like might be the case, war galleys cannot range the town center based off of the positioning. These are all like the little minor details that you have to consider when scripting a map, but map scripters these days are not necessarily like the best players in the community at playing the game, but still very talented, and they have a great Discord that I can link in the description if you want to get involved into this process. Green on the way up to Castle Age, so I think this dock will stay up for the Lithuanians. I do have a different dock mod just to make it a little bit easier to fish boom. It's a little bit more attractive than some of the dock mods that the professional Rage Forest fish boomers can use sometimes. So I think this is, if you just look up dock mods in the mod center, you should be able to find it. It might be like Roman, or it might be called dock for fish booming or something like that. Red just defending with spears and deciding to go for archers from a long ways out. They're going to have a long way to walk, but they could, of course, just try to come in this side section and attack green. So interesting. Purple is Xing here. I'm not sure why. But yeah, the German team almost have their full wall with the last little bit going to be stone walls. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's... No, I don't see teal on stone, but you do start with the 2 tile golds next to your TC and stones as well. And they're just deciding, you know what? Wait, is this gold? I guess, yeah, the gold is that close. It's just the way that blue is walled has been able to trap in one of the golds, which is pretty nice. Pretty nifty idea. So yeah, just light aggression as I was expecting from blue, and then just walling behind and trying to get up to Castle Age as soon as possible to get the boom going. Because if you can fish boom here, that's just, this can be your entire economy. You can really, I don't know, get going on the economy. And this isn't like an easy wall off either. I think if the Brazilian team had made some army and had really gotten their feudal timing spot on, then they would have been able to get in here a little bit faster. But yes, the German team have walled this off. I'm wondering if this is my issue, if this is my fault as a map scripter, as making this too easy to wall off, because it does feel like there was still quite a lot that had to be walled off here. Or if this was just the Brazilian team not pressuring early enough, waiting to mass up too many scouts. Well, I guess we'll see if purple still can get in here. It seems like it's going to be a difficult affair without having some sort of range support. Spears can just push away the scouts, and if you try to get upgrades on the scouts, you're just slowing down your uptime even more. Yeah, we see so many more fishing ships here. The military is in favor of the Brazilian team, Fire's team, and then the economy is fairly similar. Malay going to have those cheaper fish traps. They're going to be fish booming very quickly. Interesting houses on this side of the wall. I guess that's just where the villager ended up. And these archers are just very inactive right now. Yellow Xing, what, maybe where to get resources? Or I guess just that green scout was somewhere around there. Okay, just to send a spear. So yeah, these golds are fairly exposed, and the players will have to move out to them at some point. But if they're just booming, they don't necessarily need gold. Gold isn't like, you know, those main resources that you use for booming. Yellow dropping the TC here. Yeah, Goku's build's been pretty impressive. Winning water and being the first one up to Castle Age. Yeah, green was up as well. Okay, you're right. Green was up first because they didn't try to attack in any way. Blue trying to do some damage with these scouts because they've just been roaming around here since pretty early. Ooh, might stop that wall. No, Yellow did a great job. Goku did a great job pulling that villager back, re-walling behind, and that town center should be able to go up without an issue. And then Purple on the other side has a pretty nice wall off on the way to Castle Age as well. So it seems like this colored team has had the advantage so far in I don't know, just getting their fish boom off to a good start. I think they play a little bit more Rage Forest, which I think is, you know, the map where you practice your fish boom the most. But it is a very campy sort of game outside of just the easy clear up on water that Yellow had. And now Yellow could drop fish traps, but this is, of course, a very exposed part of the map. Almost impossible. I guess you can wall here, and then wall out your opponent. That's a lot of walling just to protect these ponds, because you can't wall right along the shoreline. The beach terrain has been modified, so it does not allow walls. Meanwhile, Red's crossbowman's forced to come back. I don't know, actually. I think you could just fight this off with scouts. But wanting to make sure that town center goes up, and I don't think won't be losing too many vills in the process. I thought I could see Eco Kitty. There we go, Eco Kitty. So yeah, not losing any vills. And Goku just trading some fishing ships. I guess maybe a demo came out for green before that dock went down. Yellow now pinging that right side, so maybe they're going to try to push there, and they can, of course, go right through the middle since Yellow has water control. Red's crossbowmen, if they decide to come forward, could try to pressure on this side. But yeah, I'm not sure what else to say. Burgundian's getting two-man saw already, but only 2 docks at the moment, and not the prettiest fish boom. These fishing ships haven't been tasked as neatly as you can do. Combination of farms and fish. I think it's difficult in this kind of matchup to only use fish and fish traps, unless of course you're Malay and your fish traps are very cheap. Though I guess these other players are making it work. Scouts are trying to come in. I guess now they are light cav and just have forging. And Siege Workshop very far back. Interesting. Maybe it's going to be a pressure on green in the middle position since water is controlled. But mainly it's just dropping more and more town centers, getting up to that ultimate composition. And yeah, the timing windows don't seem like they're being utilized their full potential. Purple coming back and maybe going to be trying to see what's in the middle. Red, meanwhile, just dropping outposts everywhere. I guess you don't want to have your archers caught unawares. And now sees the Custilier, or sorry, Step Lancer out on the field. Right, Custilier would be on a teammate. Villager trying to take that fight. Unable to do much in terms of damaging. And we have a monastery. I don't know what... These almost seems like buildings just to get up to Imperial Age. And I guess on a good fish boom, you'd be able to get up to Imperial Age fairly quickly. But I don't think that's quite in the cards yet, if you're investing that many economic upgrades. Very safe castle here by green. Not too concerned, I guess, about being pushed down the middle. Making sure that castle will stay up. All of those upgrades will be important. Relic positions were in the middle and on the sides. I think there's one safe relic. No. Yeah, there's one safe relic in each of the players' bases. And it's still here for our Lithuanian player, assuming they want to go into Lightus. That would make sense after a big boom like this. And crossbows are just hanging out still, but I think, yep, there's Imp. I was thinking it might be a forward castle here by red, but obviously doesn't know, you would assume Malay would be up first, but yeah, doesn't know exactly if that forward castle would pay off. Is still coming forward though for that castle. I think I'd like a castle right in this choke point, especially when you pretty much are, I mean, you'd be very surprised if anyone had more military at this point in the game. Though, Scorpions are now affected by ballistics. I did not check if blue had ballistics. Is there an easy way for me to check that? Not clear. We might be able to see it from this fight. I forget how to do that in a team game. I know in 1v1s you can just hover over the player's icon. That might not be a feature of the team game capture rate settings. Oh wait, it says right here. Never mind, I forgot that ballistics is one of the ones that showed up automatically. But no ballistics for any players at the moment. Except for red. I believe red has ballistics in. Now we see the middle path coming into play as Hussite wagons try to come across, and yellow is quickly trying to quick wall and prevent the Hussite wagons from coming over and helping against the archers. Hussite wagons, I guess, can't snipe the fish. Yellow would need redemption in order to convert those Hussite wagons. Maybe is going to slip the monk through. We'll see. I've never seen fires against Hussite wagons. Oh, demos coming in now. I haven't really seen demos against Hussite wagons either. Okay, so this map is delivering some new concepts. Even if the midpoint was a little bit slow, we can see Hussite wagons do pretty well against ships. So a very inventive strategy. Meanwhile, yellow was trying to push forward and making elephant archers off of this boom they have. On the other side, we have Malay crossbowmen fighting the Burgundian, or sorry, Mongolian Scorpions. Onagers coming in now to deal with that. I do prefer Mongols on this side over Malay, especially as we approach the late game. Yellow going to wall the other side as well. These Hussite wagons will be trapped, though. They're pretty good at getting out of those trap situations. So this is just turning into 3 1v1s with a flank trying to help one side or the other. And green, I'm not sure where green must be at. 116 vills. I guess no fishing ships. Maybe a little bit delayed with the boom compared to the other players because they don't have a pond. Red's marking the Hussite wagons that are just devouring everything. And now we have the onagers here. I don't think we have drill in yet. I didn't check. I really wish there was the way to check all of the upgrades in a team game as well, but I don't see that option. Crab snipes the onager. Well done there. And on this side, it does feel like the Fusilier are going to be pretty good helping out with the elephant archers. Yeah, I mean, that seems like such a powerful combination here. It's up to fire on the other side just to hold, I guess, with the ARBs and the BBC. ARBs deciding coming down the middle, and hope there's no demos, but obviously there's no docks left behind. Attempting the demos in the middle against the Hussite wagons. Ducking and diving, okay, reduced to just 1 now. ARBs should be in there pretty quickly, and we have a castle up here for green. And I think the castle will be up in time. And we have Lightus, I'm assuming Elite Lightus. Yeah, Elite Lightus and just the 1 relic? Let's see. 2 relics in. Okay. So was able to nab one from where? From the right side? Yeah, I'm guessing it was the right side before Purple's monk arrived. Or did they nab it from the middle? There's one missing from the middle. Maybe that's why the Hussite wagons went to the middle, just to help nab the relic. But this is such a scary combination. It just comes down to whether there's siege here to help. Because I think this combination of Hussite wagons plus Halb can hold for some extent, especially with this beautiful fish boom. Maybe an overproduction of the fish. Obviously, players have a lot to focus on. Elite Lightus are just feasting on these ARBs, though. Yeah, I think Malay are in a very tough position right now. I think the timing is what they rely on, and BBC going down. Yeah, BBC all going down. I'm guessing drill is in now, if it's not in very shortly. And switching into barracks. No, nothing produced out of these barracks yet. I'm guessing it's going to be help to deal with the Lightus. Let me know what you guys prefer out of this composition. I think I'd prefer the Custellier plus Elephant Archer. But yeah, really good job here. The Hussite wagons are targeting the Elephant Archer specifically instead of the Custellier, who are trying to do some dodge mechanics to yeah, try to retarget the Hussite wagons and force them to miss. Lightus, yeah, just devouring here. And I think the big difference between these teams here is that the German team has the siege to help push back the opponent. The siege isn't here. I guess we have one Treb for our Burgundian player, try to slowly take out this castle. But the monks plus halbs plus elite Hussite, or not even elite Hussite wagon, just standard Hussite wagons are slowing down the push on the right side. I'm not sure. I guess Onager is the play here against these halbs and Hussite wagons. But I'm not sure which player you'd expect to make the Onager. We do have BBC here from Yellow. And yeah, look at all this Mongol. Mongol player isn't even upgrading their Mangudai, still on fletching, not even Bodkin. They're just focusing mainly on the siege. And I think that makes a lot of sense, especially the way the game is playing out. We just have two little corridors that are very closed up, where the mobility of the Mangudai wouldn't really come into play. So now I think we have the upgrades, we have the siege. The BBC can also snipe the Hussite wagons. So yeah, bombard cannons doing work here. Blue just getting conscription now and getting Bodkin arrow. So I guess now thinking about switching into more upgrades for the Mangudai. As they progress past this choke point, the Mangudai's mobility will be able to come into play. Yellow moving some villagers over to the right side. I mean, I like the composition. Yeah, it just seems like yellow and purple were a little bit slow to add the siege. I mean, I am asking a lot of them. You know, they have to... Oh, only 2-dock fish boom. Maybe that's what lost them the game. I don't know if they're actually going to lose the game. It's just not looking too good for them right now. I guess Burgundians do like to farm because Burgundian vineyards gives you a little food off of that. Maybe that means they're not the ideal civilization for this map then. But I don't think this is like peak performance on this map. I don't think the meta is completely figured out in this situation. This is one of the first games played. And the other, I think I mentioned already, the other semifinal also played this map in a 1v1 format. And that was it Vietnam Legends, I believe, versus Darkside? Yeah, Vietnam Legends versus Darkside. And I noticed that Vietnam Legends had played the map, I think, again after they played that semifinal. So clearly enjoying that map, or either that or I don't know. It's a good sign for me. I'm happy with other people are enjoying it in some regard. Yeah, this push looks unstoppable here. I mean, it's like just a one-person push almost. Green seems to have switched the other side. Lightus now helping out against probably just sniping the siege, slowing down the push. And blue probably needs some trebs to continue past the castle. Yeah, green just needs to move their trebs up. And thinking about starting trade as well. I didn't actually think about how trade would path when I was first setting up this map. But it looks like the players are going to just build gates in their walls. And you can't really build a market right here. Players all engaging right here. I don't think we see any hoopies yet for teal. Obviously, they had a lot to focus on. And yes, I forgot about this. There was a drop and there was a restore. So I am going to load up the second game. All right, we are back. And there's plenty more of this game to go. We've seen that on the other side, the push has much slowed down. And now purple and yellow are really getting their groove together. They're finding what they need to push against. They're finding their composition. They're getting all of their upgrades. Whiskey, they are being finally fully upgraded now with Blast Furnace coming in. And it seems like this is a decent enough fight for the Lightus And we do have the drill onagers here from the Mongols to help deal with these elephant archers, because otherwise they seem like they never die. They just always are just there. They're just these big blocky forms that just, there's always a mass. It seems like so hard to finally finish them off. As soon as you kill one, another one just joins the mass, joins the herd. And these onagers are having trouble finding a nice path to get in. The Lightus are moving back and forth, but now going in to take out the Rams. Rams are just pathing left and right, trying to take off the shots of the castle, I guess. This kill team doesn't have too many ranged units. Going in for the fight now, which is odd because the castle's already fallen, and Lightus are going down, Halbs are going down. I guess trying to create a counter-offensive here and give some more space for the onagers to really make use of the mobility of drill, moving in front of these walls. Focusing down the left castle first. Seems like it's going to fall. And actually taking a decent fight. These Fusiliers are going to be low on production once these castles fall. And there isn't enough onagers. The halbs are being produced out of, I don't know how many barracks. It looks like, what is that? 10 barracks? Producing halbs straight to the front. And of course these are Bohemian halbs that do extra bonus damage against cavalry. And all the Brazilian team are producing is indeed cavalry. Meanwhile, switching to the other side, we have now Elite Mangudai, still basic Mangudai, but more or less fully upgraded, I believe. I think we might be missing Parthian tactics. And Siege Onager is in as well. So really slowing down any push that Red might be able to, or might wish to start. Trade has started for both teams. Onager doing work against these elephants. I kind of want to see how much damage one onager is able to do. It's a blue helping out both sides, which is often what you need to do in these kind of situations. But it's interesting how it's just the sides that are being fought over, possibly because that's the area with all the gold. And if you, I mean, these guys must be running out of gold. I guess that's why they start trade so early. It's not that early, but I guess it's early relative to a lot of games because players get up faster because of the fish boom. Yellow, I guess sending the fishing ships back to the docks, maybe to fish boom a little bit. And now it seems like it requires so much micro for Red to try to win this fight. Mangudai sniped the bombard cannons, and Arbalest gets smothered by the siege onagers. Especially with these faster siege onagers. I guess helps do help a lot. Just that random help can help slow down the onagers and siege onagers and Mangudai. I feel like I think Yellow's probably had the best micro this game, with these BBCs just constantly active, moving them around. But now the elephant archers are up against a difficult prospect. With all of these units, just they need a meat shield, and the Fusiliers just haven't been able to do it. It feels like they haven't been willing to stand out in front and take the damage. Gabi has been on, not enough population. It seems like it feels like maybe Light Cav could be added here if Gabi is running low on gold. It is adding a lot of trade now. And so many light is protecting these two trebuchets. Siege onagers are moving in. And Red's tried to wall off this side a little bit, but unsuccessful. And of course the siege onagers could just cut around to the side. I'm wondering if any players have gone around. Look at that wood line. Ugh. You could eventually run out of wood. There's nothing really up here in the corners outside of just some nice decorations. But players could wrap around a little bit around these walls if it so came into play. And could actually cut into Yellow's base as well if they wanted to with these siege onagers. One trebuchet left on this right side, still trying to push back. We have the trebuchet being repaired by teal, and we have castle being repaired by purple. Elephant archers are coming forward. They're going to stand their ground, protect the BBC, while the BBC probably tries to sniped his trebuchet. BBC still coming forward after the elephants are pushed away by the siege onagers. Vitus are being targeted by the BBC, and BBC still moving forward. Elephant archers decide this is when I'm going to take the fight. BBC trying to get around to the trap, and they do successfully get it. And then the elephant archers push back, sit back in that little choke point between the barracks and the castle. Siege onagers are going full blast. Castle needs to target the siege onagers and take them out, and it is doing so. But one last shot on the elephants, or it almost seemed like a shot on the house there. Wasn't really in the middle of the pack, and everything resets until more siege is produced. Meanwhile, Mangudai trying to come in through the siege. Red did a good job of noticing that, and we only have, what is that, 6 Mangudai in on the siege. But that is going to force Red to move some of his army over to the other side, because you can't have Mangudai in your trade line. Even 6 Mangudai can do a lot, and it doesn't look like Acro went quite far enough away from the Arbalest before stopping and trying to do some damage. Yeah, no Hoofnies yet for Teal, but are on the way now. And we have hill forts for the town centers for green. I'm guessing just having so much res that they're like, okay, what am I going to use? What else can I use? Maybe if someone tries to raid me, I can use hill forts. I guess that makes sense. I don't think this turns into a wood game. I think there's still plenty of wood on the map. BBC here for red, fortifying this position, forcing blue to make more than just Mangudai and onagers if they want to get in, unless they want to cut. And red building a gate in front of yellow's walls. Very funny. And yeah, yellow has this held. Siege onager doing damage. I guess, yeah, doing decent damage. But obviously you need a micro on both sides for blue. Micro the Mangudai and the siege onagers on this side and the other side. So siege onagers are being sniped very quickly by yellow's BBC. More attention being focused there. Lovely houses in the back, and still enough gold and stone, but running out very shortly. And the other team has fully run out of the gold and stone that starts there. You can see all the mining camps as the only traces of what's left over. BBC trying to take out that trebuchet, and bomber cannon going to switch over to Hoofnies right now. And now I think that Hoofnies might actually do quite well against the elephant archers as well. I just sniped that BBC. Now Hoofnies wins the battle. And I think Hoofnies might be the game changer here, because otherwise it's felt very stalematey. Ooh, blue switching into Siege Ram now. Speedy's Siege Ram. I still remember the deathmatch game where I don't know which deathmatch World Cup this was, but it was with Viper. I want to say it was Viper versus Dragonstar, and I mean, Mongols are already just terrific on deathmatch because of the number of great post-imperial units they can make. But I think it even might have been a mirror matchup, because that's what players were playing, was mirror matchups on deathmatch, and it was just maybe like 20 siege rams streaming into Dragonstar's base and just decimated everything. And here they go. I mean, one siege onager behind. Siege ram's blocking. This is so funny. I think that siege onager is toast unless the Mangudai can do something about it. I'm guessing all the upgrades are in now. It looks like we have Parthian tactics as well. And yeah, siege rams will do quick work of these bombard towers. Bombard cannons don't do too much damage against rams. And of course, they'll be able to open these walls as well, though there are more bombard towers being produced behind by fire. Making good use of all that stone that is available in the back of the players' bases, and buying more stone as well with excess gold. The Arbalists haven't really been going down. Fire's been very safe about keeping the Arbalists away from the siege onagers, though the BBC have had to trade off with the Mangudai. But my point was that Fire's been able to keep a lot of that gold supply and use it to buy the stone instead. Goku, on the other hand, selling stone instead of slinging it to red. And this elephant mass is just so productive. How many kills do we have here? 98 kills on 39 elite elephant archers. Definitely good value. One of the best value units I did a test recently where I just put all of the units, one of every unit, into a little arena, but not actual arena. It was more like a Golden Lagoon. And just tried to figure out what unit had the best value. And of course, high HP targets had a lot of value. You could get a lot of kills. But the best unit was by far the villager. And that's what's allowed these economies to get to this point. Big shots here on the elephants. It's not as like satisfying because the elephants have so much HP. It takes multiple shots here for the siege onagers to do their work. Blue coming in now. Siege onager, or the siege ram making the difference for blue. Sniping all the trade. And more siege rams coming in. Can purple switch over to the side? Is sending Fusilier over here to try to help snipe the siege. Ooh, decent shot here. Another shot. Ooh, there's the big shot we were looking for. And Bomber Towers, of course, missing as well. Needs a micro to take care of this speedy Onager. Onager just keeps going forward. Anytime the units move, Onager moves as well. And yeah, Red's forced to switch the Battle Elephant because there's not enough Fusilier being redirected to this side. Now, Purple sent a lot of his production over, but these castles are, a lot of them are on the front, so not helping that much. Purple also moving towards the Bombard Tower strategy, but you have Hoofbeasts directly opposed the Bombard Towers, so I don't know how long they will be able to stay up. And now we have Elite Skirmishers joining the mix. I think this is another thing that the German team has been missing, is just a ranged unit for their composition. I think Hussite wagons could actually do quite well as well. More costly, but maybe more pop efficient. So it looks like most of the siege has been cleared up. Red rebuilding siege workshops to pump out more bombard cannons. But blue has done so much here, pushed so far. And it feels like maybe we'll get to another stalemate, but interesting. It does feel like the composition has been better here for the German team. And it's just a matter of time before purple runs out of castles and needs to switch to a different unit. Of course, Burgundians do get cheaper paladins, so the tech switch wouldn't be that difficult. But it looks like the first tech shift that's coming in from that team is yellow is switching to Hal, which I don't really understand. Feels like elephant archers have been the best unit here, and the more elephant archers you have, the better. But it does also look like blue's attention has switched over to the right side. So many siege onagers here for blue, and just allowing the siege ram plus Mengadai be the composition on the left side. These Malay elite battle elephant do not have much armor, so they are not going to be able to stand up to these Mengadai all that much. Do have a lot of HP and are quite cheap to produce. But now we have the lightest and the Mongol death ball coming in, and red is in trouble. If purple has sent a lot of his units over to the other side, which it looks like he is doing, or did he just lose them? Where's purple's Fusilier? Yeah, he sent him over to the other side. Oh, bad timing there, bud. If red's not pinging, he should be. Like, I'm gonna lose everything. I'm getting pushed so hard. That's our trade. Lightest in, Mengadai in, just sitting under the castle, sniping every trade cart that goes by. That castle won't be there for much longer. Maybe, just maybe, the Brazilian team can push here, finally get past this Bohemian. This Bohemian wall is really what it comes down to. The Bohemians were noted in Czechia for being able to hold off the Teutons and the Magyars based off of their defensive buildings, their units, and that's what's taking place again this game. Just sitting here in this little choke point. This position hasn't moved at all. But the Mongols were never an issue, or an enemy of the Bohemians, and I think actually they were. The Mongols did arrive into Bohemia, and they were the ones that were able to really create terror in Europe, upset the balance of things. And here we see the Mongol siege again, pushing in, doing damage. I guess the Mongol siege, it wasn't actually coming from all the way from Mongolia into Europe, but the general concept applies, I think. All the history fans in the chat can of course correct me. Look at that hoof beast. coming after this BBC. We have this entire fight here, and then this is what these players are focusing on. This little fight over on this side. Hoofney's winning that one. And Teal wanting to make sure this castle stays up. There is more of a defensive structure behind. This is just one part. But the longer that Teal can hold over this side, the more time it gives blue and green to decimate over on the other side. Completely kill that siege, or that trade line. And now going for the fish. This is what decides games. Losing your fish boom, especially when you're Malay. I mean, it'd be easier, I guess, for a lot of civils, or for Malay to replace the fish boom than a lot of other civilizations. But this looks like it might be the deciding factor. Purple now switching over to Hussar, realizing that gold is going to be an issue. Losing farms as well. Lightus just coming in, decimating. And they are sending everything at this position. The trade line for the German team is right here as well. But it seems like there's enough production, and they're being stalled out in this castle mass. We still have 3 castles here from green and the castle from teal, and the siege is lacking from the Brazilian team. Siege onagers are going to make short work of anything that comes close, especially with that extra speed they have. Purple Xing. Curious what they were thinking there. Like, hey, maybe stop your trade here. And there goes the fish boom. Here's probably most of Red's wood villagers as well. A few more over here. So maybe won't be defeated. But there is the GG on the first ever cast, or my first ever cast of a proper Anza Borrego game. It was exciting. In the map script, it mentions the maps that I think are similar to Anza Borrego. And I mentioned Hideout. I think I mentioned... Oh, I'll have to go back and look. But definitely Hideout. And I was thinking this is kind of like a Hideout style map, but still fairly open. And I think there's a lot of potential for players to push in during Feudal Age. I don't think Archers are the play. Fire seemed like he wasn't sure what the timings were. And I think you really have to practice those timings. That's what Malay strives or relies on. But yeah, otherwise, not much else to say. I think we said it all during the long drawn out game. Let me know what you guys thought of this game. I have another map that's being in the works right now, and will be coming out for the Blue Carbon Cup, which is a cup that focuses on ecosystems that are, how would I describe it? Ecosystems that are marine-based, or revolve around mangroves, but are very important for uptaking carbon in the carbon cycle and reducing greenhouse gases. So I'm very excited by that prospect. I'm hoping you guys will enjoy the tournament and all the new maps that will come with it as well. Until then, I'll see you in the comments.